Hello, friends. This is Orion Starfire. I want to bring up a sensitive but often overlooked topic. I want to talk about adult survivors of childhood trauma, negligence, and abuse relating to domestic violence, particularly. I also want to talk about the welfare of adults who were neurodivergent as children or had behavioral abnormalities due to the abuse of substances by their mothers and fathers both prior to conception and during pregnancy. While I do think significant societal strides have been made to prevent harm, I feel there are many individuals, such as myself, who were not only harmed, but before such recognition took effect, but then were left subsequently alone, forced on our own to figure out how to develop and function properly after the fact. I don't believe that it is anyone's responsibility to feel ashamed of a burden they had no control over. I do find it unfair that people like me have been left behind. When I say people like me have been left behind, I'm not implying no effort was made to help us. What I mean to say is that, generally speaking, advocacy only ever seems to gain significant traction when it is socially motivated. While there is nothing inherently wrong with that, I do believe that politics tend to focus on popular disputes that drive social values. Politics are not inherently driven towards social or ethical justice. They are driven towards specific issues which are meant to reinforce political validation. And such political validation is generally meant to create opposition. In this expression of my thoughts, I don't want to create opposition or depose the suffering of anyone else. It is not a competition, nor should the most vulnerable ever have to compete for attention. In fact, politicians should be the only ones competing, and they should be competing to be the most ethical, not the most popular. I don't know how effective this message will be, but I haven't actually expressed my message yet. What I do know is that people have been divided for all the wrong reasons for a long time in the United States. People have been divided by politics, which is very disheartening. The main issues are always immigration, gun control, abortion, and taxes. I'm going to state some opinions which might wipe my objectiveness, but I don't care. Opinion 1. Don't be racist. Opinion 2. Let people who are mentally stable have guns. Opinion 3. Let women who aren't ready to have babies get abortions, period. And opinion 4. Stop making taxes a battle between tax brackets, between the people of different tax brackets. To get back to my previous point of providing advocacy to adult survivors of childhood abuse and inaccurate prognosis, why don't we get our fair representation? You would be amazed by how social advocacy can be so effective if you take away the political implications. There are just as many adults out there who went through trauma as kids, going through it right now. And many of them, like me, don't have a stable family, social sphere, or a friend group or whatever to fully recover or to shield themselves from the world that will destroy them. Stop leaving us behind. Stop making us choose sides. I want choices. I want options. I want to be happy just as much as I want anyone else to be happy. If anyone watches this and dismisses me because of my race, gender, or other superficial values, you failed the test, and may you learn as much. Because I love everyone, and I want everyone to be happy. And I'm tired of all of the just angry opposition. I'm tired of the sensationalist bullshit that comes from politics, that comes from the Democrats, the Republicans, MAGA, who I believe to be a terrorist organization, and I'll say that out loud. I don't give a shit. I think MAGA is a terrorist organization. I don't care. Can we get back to the place where people are just working together and we're loving each other? And can people like me and people who are not me but are like me, can we please get some advocacy? Can we please get some help? Those of us who grew up in the 90s or maybe the early 2000s and didn't get real help. We didn't get the support. And we had to just suffer traumatic violence, whether it was physical, emotional, mental, doesn't matter. And we're out here just trying to survive, hold on to jobs. We didn't get the options provided to us, not really. We didn't really get the social spheres that would help us strive and lift us out of the things that we suffered from, our behavioral issues or whatever. I want everybody to be safe and happy. I want immigrants to be safe and happy. I want women to be safe and happy, but I want to be safe and happy too, and I please want to be recognized. You don't have to recognize me as a man, but recognize me as someone who was a victim previously, at least, and understands what suffering is. And I want to rise above. I want to be a better version of myself. But I also have my own pain and my own weight of suffering. So please recognize me too. That's all.